Hello, Faculty Factory listeners. This is episode number 300. We're going to celebrate today with a two-part episode. First, we have Dr. Skarupski joined by Heather Broad talking about a new book, and followed by a list of every single guest. Dr. Skarupski is going to read every guest we've ever had on the show. All 300 episodes wouldn't be possible without these amazing people. Thank you for being a part of this community.
Welcome back to the Faculty Factory podcast. Today, I'm so happy to be celebrating the 300th episode, and I'm celebrating with my dear friend, colleague, the best coach I ever known in my life, Heather Broad. Hi, Heather.
Hey, celebration. I'm doing jazz hands over here.
Yes, you are. I am so happy. We have the virtual confetti flying. 300 episodes. It reminds me of that Sparta 300, that movie about these, whatever, all that movie. Gerard Butler, that movie. We are 300 episodes strong, and Heather's been on the podcast twice. You did an episode a couple years ago, an interview with you talking about your coaching and faculty development and the wonderful work you do with your clients, and then the episode 210. So episode 178 and then 210 is building a sense of belonging. That was a really good episode. And so I've actually had people ask me, do you know anybody who could help us do a retreat on engagement and community and belonging? And I say, in fact, I do. And I tell them Heather Broad. So Heather, why don't you tell everybody on the podcast who has not been maybe a listener and knows you and heard me mention you a number of times, who you are and what you do.
Thanks, Kim. So I am a leadership and professional development expert. I mostly apply that expertise in academic medicine, healthcare in general, and professional services. And I do that via coaching and facilitating and workshop creation and implementation and speaking engagements and some writing.
Some writing. Yeah. Hey, Heather Broad, word on the street is you wrote a book.
It's funny because word on the street is you wrote a book.
What? Yeah. Yes, folks, we wrote a book. Heather Broad and I wrote a book. It has just been published. So it has been dropped by Springer. It is entitled The Insider's Pocket Guide to Navigating a Faculty Career in Academic Medicine by Heather Broad, B-R-O-D, and Kimberly Skarupski. And the table of contents, chapter 1 is why academic medicine. Chapter 2, preparing for an academic medicine career. Chapter 3, who am I? Why does it matter? Why does it matter who I am? Chapter 4 is getting the right position in academic medicine. Chapter 5 is your first years in academic medicine or in a new role, because we do talk about transitioning to new roles. Chapter 6, minding the academic in medicine. Whoa, we talk about scholarship and why that's different from private practice. Chapter 7 is promotion. Chapter 8 is leadership. 9, what to do when, not if, things get rough. I love that chapter you came up with. Chapter 10, infusing diversity into your work and embracing an inclusive mindset. That's so cool. 11, the work-life integration paradox. And then finally, chapter 12, transitions. And we talk about transitioning after full-time employment, transitioning in the middle of the career. We know somebody who's gone from industry and then back to academic health. Heather, why in the world did we write a book? Who cares? Why would anyone on the Faculty Factory podcast care about a book we wrote? Why did we do this?
Well, I hope a lot of people will care about a book that we wrote because we combined our brains and our knowledge and experience and all the questions that we get asked over and over and over in our long careers supporting faculty about how do you do this career thing? So I think, Kim, you've recognized, like I've recognized, that new faculty are just kind of dropped into a job, and they don't necessarily know which way to go and how to figure things out. And the information that people get is spotty sometimes. And sometimes it depends on even knowing the right questions to ask. And so that was really the impetus was how can we help people find their way and know what questions to ask and know what's normal and be able to build a career that's meaningful and fulfilling to them. And I think, one thing too that you and I have both noticed is there's so many opportunities, right? And as a new faculty member, you're going to be throwing all kinds of different things your way. And how do you figure out, well, what's the best one for you? And even later in your career. So this isn't only a book for new faculty. This is a book that will hopefully take somebody through an entire arc of their career. But even at that time later, how do you go back to being centered in yourself and knowing what's important and making the choices that are best going to be important for you and allow your best talent to shine? So I would say that's kind of the gist of it, or the motivation from my perspective. Does that also resonate with you? And maybe you could tell people a little bit about what's in it.
Yeah, Heather, I remember having a conversation a couple of years ago with you, and those are the podcasts have heard me talk about the career development coaching camp that you and I designed and delivered at Johns Hopkins a couple of years, where we had wonderful mid-career physician scientists who would spend the weekend together exploring our identity and our values and our goals and thinking about careers over the long haul. And sometimes at mid-career we get that point of like, is this all there is? And this is tough. How do I go forward? How do I find my way forward? So I remember those wonderful experiences in the coaching camp that we worked, that we found such value and then saw so much great feedback and positive energy and enthusiasm among the participants, that this was such an important, impactful experience for them, that you and I, on our debriefs and our drive out there to the Eastern Shore, it became apparent to me that you and I were both aligned with opportunity, maybe missed opportunities. And so I think this book, for me, was a culmination of you and both of our careers in faculty development aligning, our coaching careers and our interests and our heart for this kind of space. It just made sense, like you said, Heather, to kind of put this stuff, memorialize it into a book that can be another way of gifting someone who is thinking about going into this profession, giving it as a gift, or referring it to our peers and colleagues at all stages of the continuum in academic medicine and academic health. So, Heather, it's not a big book. It's only how many pages?
85-ish.
Yeah, 85-ish. And I think Springer has it listed for how much?
I think about $39, if I remember, something about that.
It's pretty reasonable. And how can people find this book if they want to gift it? Or I think there's a discount, maybe. I don't know if they buy it in bulk on Amazon, but I think it's a great gift. And where can they find it if they want to buy the Insider's Pocket Guide to Navigating a Faculty Career in Academic Medicine?
So they can find it on the Springer website. It is also on Amazon. It is available via your institutional libraries or Springer Link. And it is going to be on my website. It should be there, hopefully, when this episode drops. But if not, check back soon. As well as a companion workbook is going to be there to walk through the concepts that are presented in the book. And Kim, I imagine it's also going to be on the Faculty Factory website.
Yes, same thing. We're going to get that posted there. So, Heather, this has been a wonderful labor of love with you. I really enjoyed the process. It was so fun going back and forth with our versions, iterations. I learned so much from you. Again, you are the best coach I know. I've loved getting to know you better through this process. You're a great negotiator. You're a great coach. It's been wonderful. I know people are going to find tremendous value in this book, and onward to bigger and even better things.
Aw, thank you, Kim. Well, as I wrote in the introduction, you truly are my sister from another mister. And I have just loved collaborating with you. This has been such a fruitful and insightful collaboration. You're so much fun to work with. I just feel inspired when we have our conversations and like, yeah, our energy, our synergy, it just brought this together so easily. And it was such a fun process. And I never would have expected that writing a book could be so easy or so fun. And I loved everything about it. And I hope that our readers will get the same sense and the same level of enjoyment from it that we got working on it. So thank you very much for being a wonderful partner.
Thank you, Heather. I hope you all are excited about this and also maybe inspired to meet some new friends, build some new collaborations. You never know where it will be. Look for opportunity, look for need, step up, be a leader. That's what leaders do. They just step up and start doing it. Write a book, write a paper, start a project, initiate a new project at work. Do great things. Hi, friends. Welcome back to the Faculty Factory podcast. This is a special celebration of the 300 Spartans. Actually, not Spartans. We're not holding off any invading armies, but I do want to celebrate the friends and colleagues and wonderful guests over the years who've been on the Faculty Factory podcast. And guess what? I'm going to read their names. And if you don't hear your name, you should be on the podcast. But I'll bet you're going to recognize a lot of these names. And again, just like in the movie, these brave warriors jumped on a podcast with me, and it's been a wonderful ride. And happy 300. Thank you, everybody. Alice Fernari, Alicia Fox, Amanda Termulin, Amy Gottlieb, Andrea Sykin, Andrew Dwyer, Andrew Orr, Andrew Wilner, Angela Sharkey, Angela Field, Ann Brown, Ann Thompson, Anna Handorf, Archie Chatterjee, Ashley Paul, Aisha Shafi, Barbara Fibush, Beatrice Tapia, Benjamin Kinnear, Bernard Bowe, Landry Wegener, Brian Klein, Carissa Cooney, Carol Zeminski, Carrie Ward, Casey Callanan, Charlie Irvin, Sherry Lemieux Spiegel, Cheryl Welch, Christina, Chris Runge, Clara Lappner, Cindy Rand, Dan Barnett, Dan Kashabi, Daniel Shapiro, Danielle Piccinini Black, Daryl Kirch, Dave Newsom, Dave Rogers, Dave Newsom again twice because he's that good, Diana Gray, Deona Williams, Donna Vogel, Doug Robinson, Elena Fuentes Affleck, Elizabeth Jaffe, Eric Bass, Eric Nalisnik, Eric Holmbo, Eric Brown, Farzana Hoke from Waz Al Amari, Garima Sharma, George Everly, Giorgio Raimondi, Guadalupe Federico Martinez, Harriet Hoff, Heather Broad, Helen Kinsman Hughes, Janet Bickle, Janet Serwent, Janice Clements, Jay McGregor, Jeanette Shorey, Jeff Linus, Jeff Natterman, Jennifer Billwalk, Jennifer Apps, Jennifer Best, Jenny Lee, Jessica Kahn, Jessica Seaman, Johnson George, Jose Suarez, Joe Losi, Joshua Schwartzbaum, Karen Monas, Kathy Forbush, Kathy Pipitone, Kamara Ellefson, Larry Apple, Lee Doherty Biddison, Lee Patterson, Libby Elinas, Linda Dillon Jones, Lisa Bellini, Lisa Coplet, Ludi Shee, Luba Konopasek, Margaret Meg Chisholm, Margot Cohen, Maria Oliva Hemker, Maria Trent, Mark Guadagnoli, Mary Beth Phelan, Mary Dean Sorcinelli, Maureen Connolly, Megan Palmer, Merrill Cohen, Michael Gottlieb, Michelle Johansson, Mitu Sen, Mona Behuth, Namanji Bumpus, Nancy Spector, Nada Gould, Nutan Vaidya, Paige Morahan, Panagis Galiatsatos, Patrick Smith, Paul Fitzgerald, Peggy Semingson, Penny Edwards, Peter Denson, Priya Umapathy, Kevin Grigsby, Rachel Levine, Rachel Salas, Rachel Walden, Rocky Bayani, Rashmi Vyas, Richard Eden, Risha Irvin, Bob Tillman, Ruth Chen, Sonia Kupesek, Sanjay Desai, Sapna Kudkachar, Sarah Amond, Sarah Andrews, Sarah Poynton, Sean Tackett, Sharon Solomon, Stacy Lee, Stuart Ray, Susan Chubinskaya, Susan Pollard, Silk Soto, Tom Lewis, Thomas Cujo, Tyra Fainstad, Valerie Dandar, Valerie Patton, Wendy Bennett, Wendy Ward, Willie Chip Shuba, William Mallon, Yuval Bar Or, and Zuber Mullah. That's everybody. 300 episodes. Thank you, everybody. Let's be on the Faculty Factory podcast. Let's keep this battle going.
Hello, Faculty Factory listeners. It's your podcast producer, Casey Callahan. Please make sure to download our newest free Faculty Factory book called The Academic Medicine Starter Kit, Timeless Tips and Guidance for Early Career Faculty Members. If you haven't already done so, it's available on the homepage, facultyfactory.org. In addition, I wanted to let you know that as of October 2024, this podcast that you're listening to has had nearly 90,000 total downloads and more than 15,000 total YouTube views. And the Faculty Factory website has drawn more than 50,000 web visits from users in 122 different countries. We would love to invite you to be a guest on the show or share the Faculty Factory website, podcast, and ebooks to someone you think would benefit from checking it out. If you want to reach us to be a guest or nominate someone in our academic medicine community who you think we need to hear from, please visit us on facultyfactory.org and drop us a message there in the Contact Us page.
Thanks for tuning in to Faculty Factory Podcast. The mission of the Faculty Factory is to build and support a community of leaders in faculty development who share tools, resources, wisdom, and encouragement in service to our faculty members, schools, and institutions. We encourage you to go to facultyfactory.org to find out more, get in touch with me, ask me any questions. Maybe you want to be interviewed on the podcast. Thanks for tuning in to Faculty Factory Podcast. We'll see you next time. The Faculty Factory podcast and website is sponsored by the Johns Hopkins University School of Medicine Office of Faculty. For more information, visit facultyfactory.org.